Hello everyone and welcome to the P&J Show. I'm Mr. P.
And I'm Mr. Jethro.
And this is a look back at what's been happening recently in the world.
What has been happening in the world?
Nothing, mate.
Nothing?
That's it then, we'll go. That's great.
Alright, thank you very much for watching.
Please like and subscribe. Okay, no, there's been quite a lot happening actually. From people going crazy over energy drinks that are just really not worth the money, to politics, to quite a lot in science and technology, and we're going to look at all of it.
What are we starting off with?
Well, I think let's start with science and technology, shall we?
Okay.
It was always a nice topic. So, the big news is that Elon Musk purchased Twitter. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't really use Twitter, so yeah.
You read the controversy though, and there's been quite a lot.
You're the Twitter user out of both of us, so what are your thoughts?
I'm just the twit they're both of us. So there was a lot of to and fro, as people who have been following this news story will know. First he was going to buy it, then he wasn't going to buy it. Then he said, I'm not going to buy it because you're not giving me all the information. Then they said, well, we've shown you the information. Then he said, well, I don't believe the information. Basically, it was just a to and fro. Then there was a lot of speculation that he was doing it just to get the Tesla shares up or down or make Twitter worth less. Tesla, even. Tesla. I always get those two wrong.
What's Tesla?
It was the physicist, wasn't it? Was Tesla? No, who's the physicist? Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla.
I just said it slightly differently. Telsa.
Well, that's a good name for something, isn't it?
Telsa.
Yeah.
It's the Telsa 500 sponsoring the P&J Show. No, okay. So yeah, the Tesla shares, and also the Twitter share prices went up and down all over the place when he said, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it anymore." They all dropped. "Oh, I'm going to buy it now," and well. He did end up buying it because he was forced to. They took him to court and said, well, you agreed to, so you've got to. And it was, what was it, more than 40 billion, 44, was it? Yeah. 40 billion, around about, I mean, what's a few billion between friends when you got that much money? And he did purchase it. And then, did it end? Did he say, right, let's get cracking, let's make it really good? Well, he kind of did. Did he? Yeah. Lots of people lost their jobs. He tried to cut down the workforce, cut down the amount of money they were spent because he needed it to make a profit, which apparently it hasn't been doing for quite some time, years. I think. How
does it make money?
Well, I'm not sure because there's little bits. Did they do advertisement? There's bits of advertisement. It's certainly not in your face like Facebook. I don't actually know how they make money. You know what? You know, we had our research meeting, our production meeting about this. We should have mentioned this and talked about it. Instead, what we did was we had food out.
Oh dear.
We took this notebook and we had copious amounts of wine.
Oh, no. Let's credit where credit is due. We did come up with some great stuff.
We did.
After we started to consume said wine, which,
right.
if you ever got writer's block, wine is a good way to unblock it.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
and a cold shower, or maybe both. Have wine in the shower. Have a shower in wine.
Please be careful not to spill the wine.
No, that's absolutely.
I mean, someone will, especially if you get drunk and go to bed, because someone then will check the shower the next day and there can be red stuff all over the shower. It's like a horror scene. But yeah, no. Anyway, the point is that he wanted to try and get Twitter to start making some money. There was a big controversy over the blue tick, which.
Doesn't really have a tick.
Yes. So what happened was the old blue tick, okay, showed that you were a verified account, and you had to go through a process to get that tick. And it was reserved mainly for people like public figures, celebrities, politicians, that sort of thing. Or people that, were influencers online. So you had to have like so many followers, you had to, that kind of thing. And those ticks still exist. However, he then, that was a bit common, wasn't it? He then said, Elon must then decided he was going to allow anyone to have a blue tick if they paid for it.
How much?
Well, here's the other controversy. Here's the other issue. Anyone with a mobile phone can pay something like $8 or £8. Oh, but if you've got an iPhone, you've got to pay $11.
and you being an average Apple user and the Twitter user, so it's...
Needless to say, yeah, don't have a blue tick. But the reason he said was because of costs for putting Twitter on the App Store, that kind of thing. It was basically a dig at Apple for their prices and that kind of thing, or something of the like. But anyway, either rate, guess what happens when you tell everybody in the world, well, just give us $11 and you can have a blue tick. Everybody got one. And not only that, they got one and they created accounts pretending to be the people. So people pretended to be Elon Musk with a blue tick.
Oh, when he said comedy was legal and then someone started to make fun of him and it was like blocked.
Yeah, he did. He went through a blocking phase anyway with people on Twitter because he didn't like what they were saying.
The person who was tracking his jet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's.
Because of stalking and that. It was fine until it affected him.
Absolutely. Freedom of speech is great unless you say something he doesn't like. And then unfortunately, and I know I'm going to get banned from Twitter now for saying this. If you can't find me on Twitter in the next couple of weeks, it's because he spit his dummy out once again and acted like a 6-year-old who you know.
You're painting a target on your back.
I know I am, but it's true. There was a load of journalists that said something about him, so he just blocked them all and said, "Oh no, it was because of some other reason." And it's like, no, it wasn't. It was because you were just being a bit of a. You weren't being very nice, basically. So, yeah, after everything that's happened recently, I think I've decided at the moment, and it could change my mind, I don't like Elon Musk. As a person, I just don't think he's very nice. And I don't know him as a person, I only know what I've seen. But if you can only go on what you see, what people do, that's my opinion.
I mean, just going back to the impersonating people, there was someone who impersonated the pharma company Eli Lilly.
Right.
And being a big pharma company, they're basically just scalping people, like scalping diabetic people, that charging extortionate amounts for insulin. And as you may well know, people with diabetes need insulin to live. And that's the thing, that insulin is just extortionately expensive in the US, and the whole patent system is all messed up. And going off topic here, but someone impersonated Eli Lilly and said, insulin is now free. And the next week, their stock prices went down by about like $1 billion. Yeah. Now they're saying, oh, it wasn't because of that, it was because of like other things, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, maybe that happened, but I still like to think it was just a couple of internet vigilantes, sticking it to power. Kind of like that story.
Well, I mean, when they took over Elon Musk's Twitter, well, not took over, sorry, impersonated his account, they tweeted a few bits, and again, share prices, it was horrible. Then, so the blue tick thing stopped, they stopped it straight away. And he said, oh dear. And now they've restarted it again with apparently a lot more stringent guidelines so that doesn't happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, seems to be an unfolding drama.
It was almost like, I know this is slightly off topic, but you remember when, show me age now, when Hotmail, the free email service, I know you're smiling, thanks. Mr. Jethro's a little bit younger than I am, just.
I remember Hotmail.
Thank you. I
still a thing, isn't it?
I still have my first Hotmail account that I ever had. It's the first email address I ever had back in the early 90s. Anyway, my address is .com, right. Hotmail.com. They decided that they were going to release .co.uk, and it was a big thing. So lots of people went online and registered all these free accounts for things like, Superman at hotmail.co.uk, all of a sudden, I can't think of anybody's name, but yeah, Beyonce at, right? And they would, like, Microsoft at, Apple at, and then they would sell the accounts to those people for a lot of money. I didn't do it, and you know what? I remember thinking, why didn't I do that? That would be brilliant. I could have had Mr. P at. I didn't do it.
Well, can you not do it?
Well, actually, I never tried it. Maybe it's there. In fact, I'm going to get an email tomorrow now from someone that's watching that says, I've got Mr. P at, and you can have it for 64 million rupees or whatever. Maybe.
I never used Hotmail.
So that's been happening. Twitter.
What else has been happening?
Well, speaking of Twitter, we said blue tick, but you can also have an NFT as a profile picture.
Oh, with the little hexagon.
Yeah. Now we had in one of our sober meetings. That sounds where I go to some kind of group meetings. But on our recovery day, we talked about.
Okay. I was about to ask that. When have we ever had one of those?
When we went to, we'll need therapy after this. When we went to, no, I'm saying it again. The day after on our recovery day, we talked about NFTs. Now I must admit, I still really don't understand NFTs. I don't get it. I don't understand why everyone has been buying them.
I mean, in the past year, they've sort of waned in popularity, which...
What is an NFT?
What is an NFT? Okay.
Oh, right, yeah, it's interesting. Good.
Non-fungible token is a unique digital identifier that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided. That is recorded in a blockchain and is used to certify authenticity of ownership.
Okay, so great. So what is an NFT?
It's my understanding of it, and someone's going to put me over the coals for that. But
it's okay.
My understanding of it is it's a ticket to show that you own something. Now, non-fungible means that, let's say you sell copies of the Mona Lisa. Like copies as in just sort of like printed out sort of posters you can stick on your wall. They're fungible, that you can sell one or the other, or it doesn't matter which one they have. If you have, say, 10 in stock, they can add any one. It's the same product, they're paying for the same products. A non-fungible is the Mona Lisa. There's only one, and you can't just like sell multiple copies of it. You can't.
So a fungible item is essentially something that is a copy of something, or it's one of multiple. Whereas a non-fungible item is a unique item, one of a kind.
Yeah. So like your shirt there.
Yeah.
That was fungible because in the shop they would have had like a few of them and they would have sold them as is. Now.
But a picture of me wearing this shirt, and there's only one picture.
Well, I mean, you.
No, that's not.
No, that shirt is now Mr. P's shirt.
Good.
Now, no other shirt is Mr. P's shirt.
No.
Well, I mean, you have other shirts.
I do.
But that shirt, Mr. P owns this shirt. That is no longer fungible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So the token, it's basically you're getting like a receipt, because you don't own the actual thing either, do you? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
We really don't understand it. It's
No.
ridiculous. If anyone's got a really great explanation in layman's terms to put out there for everybody else, please let us know, because it's just, the more we looked into it, the more we were just absolutely amazed at how silly people are, but spending all this money on these things.
Well, I mean, you got all these people like selling NFTs, and it's like, well, I mean, if people want to buy them, who are we to criticise? But at the same time, with all these different people selling them, one of the most recent ones.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So you've got this video to show me. Now, I've not seen this, and you would not show me this, would you?
No.
You want me to see this in real?
This is his raw reaction.
You want me to see this?
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection. My official Trump digital trading cards are $99.com right now. And remember, Christmas.
So what do you think to that?
Okay.
I mean, you get the chance to have a one-on-one Zoom call with Trump.
Oh dear. I hope you can apply filters while he's on. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I knew he was doing these. I saw the thing about him doing Trump cards, these NFTs.
Top Trumps.
But that is just... I've never seen him deliver a speech like that.
Like what?
Actually delivering a speech without stumbling, repeating things 3 times, getting lost, getting things wrong. Just unbelievable.
That's probably what happens when you read off a cue card.
He cannot do that. We've seen as a president, he cannot do that. This was either very, very heavily edited, or he practiced that over and over. I just, oh my, and the graphics with him, and the laser eyes, and the, what?
Yeah, it just comes across like he's Homelander from The Boys, and that's not an endearing character.
I don't know what to
and
say.
his signature, where it was just like
a digital thing on a tablet. What is that? Okay, let's just go to the other part of
this. Do you
this.
like playing golf?
No.
Oh.
I must admit though, the true thing he did say in this is some of his golf courses are beautiful. However, having said that, there are a lot more beautiful golf courses in the world as well. So there you go. Other courses are available.
But the thing is with that,
I think they're all sold out.
they're sold out.
They're sold out. I was just about to say, despite this, they're all sold out. They were 99 cents each.
No, dollars.
$99, sorry, $99 each. Which, to be fair, it's not breaking the bank, is it? But everything's sold out.
Okay, if you buy 45 digital trading cards and buy 45 digital trading cards, you are guaranteed a ticket to dinner with the president. I don't know, Biden seems like a very busy guy, doesn't he?
He does. How's he going to fit it all in?
No.
Or Joshua Enro, which is the president of the United Federation of Planets from Star Trek. Maybe we could have... He'd be a good person to have dinner with.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't tell me he's not real.
Okay.
So that happened anyway. Donald Trump sold NFT cards.
45 times 99, that is 4,400 and...
It's a lot of money.
55?
It's a lot of money.
So you're paying essentially $4,500 to have dinner with him?
Not necessarily one-on-one.
Oh, no. But to eat food in the general vicinity of him.
To attend the gala dinner. So there'll be lots of other people there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go?
They're sold out now, mate, I'm afraid. Sorry. Right. We missed the boat on that one, which is a shame because he told me I am going to like them. But he was right in that they're going down. So they come up at the bottom now. These are hilarious. I think if you're a big supporter of Trump, you're going to love them. And if you're not, and you're not a big supporter of Trump, you are going to find them hilariously funny. So either way, you're going to get enjoyment out of looking at these, whether you like him or not. So that's good marketing, really.
Yeah, and the fact that he sold out as well. Like...
Did he tell us how many he sold?
I don't think so.
No. So he could have just sold, Oh, hang on. No, we'll have more than 20 copies in existence.
So they're not fungible. No, sorry, they are fungible.
So each Trump digital trading card has a unique pre-assigned rarity. Some will be one of ones, while others will be limited to 2, 5, 7 or 10 copies. So yeah, you're right, they're not non-fungible. All of them. Some are, and I bet you have to pay more for those.
And let's talk about some entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment. We like entertainment. Jeremy Clarkson.
He's been a bit of bother.
He's not been nice. He's been a bit naughty. So what happened was Jeremy Clarkson has a column in the Sun newspaper here in the UK. And he posted an article or a blog or whatever you call it, a report, An article, yeah, call it an article, where he was not very nice about Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, saying that Meghan should be paraded naked down every street in the UK as if we live in Game of Thrones or something like.
Yeah, he'd obviously been having a bad day when he wrote that, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. It was so nasty about his hatred for her.
Come on, like, how can you hate her when there's other people in the royal family who are probably worse, to be frank?
There are many people in the world which you could channel your hatred for. I was going to list people. That's not right. I shouldn't do that.
No, but you could probably fill in the blanks, or fill in your own blanks.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of people that just, deserve it. But what has Meghan actually done to, put the ire in people like that?
Well, Vladimir Putin. Okay, I said one. And if I get assassinated next week, it's just because he...
No, what has Meghan done?
Okay, no, well, nothing really, actually, let's be honest. I mean, Look, they moved away from the UK, they went to the US because of the pressure and what they say was not a nice life in the UK. Who really knows? Only they know, really. Although actually, no, you can know now because they brought out a book, and they did interviews on TV and all that kind of thing. And I think Jeremy Clarkson was funneling his anger at the fact that something they said, obviously. But either way, let's get back to the point. So the point is, he said these nasty things, and there was a bit of backlash, as you'd expect, to the point where. He sent them an apology apparently on, was it Christmas Day, I think, or Boxing Day or something like that? New Year's Day, one of those. And he also apologised in The Sun, and The Sun apologised for him. And he still got backlash to the point where he then had to bring out this big apology, kind of saying, look, this is what happened. I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said it, it was terrible. Despite that, however, it would seem that Amazon have decided to not go forward with any future projects with him at this time.
Which, time is a flat circle. Like, he got kicked off the BBC for bad behaviour. Now he's kicked from Amazon because of bad behaviour. Where's he going to go now?
Well, we should point out he still has Clarkson's Farm Series 2, which we're told, well, we assume they're going to air. I think it said they're going to air that. That's going to come out. And anything else, I don't know if they filmed any more Grand Tour stuff, but if they have, I assume that's going to happen. What's interesting is the Grand Tour recently did a catch-up video from the Scandi Flick, where it was just Richard Hammond and James May looking at the three cars. And the gag was that Jeremy Clarkson was hidden in the boot and they weren't letting him out. And it was a muffled voice in the boot saying, let me out, I'm going to kill you. But they did the presenting on that, not him.
Right.
I'm assuming that was by design because of this backlash. But it was quite fun, actually, to see them talking about the cars and doing like a review after the fact. It was quite nice. Anyway, so they're going to cut ties with him, we think, after the projects that they've done are out.
So where's he going to go? Any guesses?
YouTube? Any idiots can sit behind a desk and put a video out on YouTube, Jethro.
That's it. Why didn't we think of this?
James May, however, has just been renewed for Series 3 of his Our Man series. So he did Our Man in Japan, Our Man in Italy, which were very good. So can't wait to see the third series of that, wherever they go. So it looks like the other parts of the trio are quite safe. It is just Jeremy Clarkson that's affected.
Yeah, they're not tying everyone with the same brush, which is good. I'm guessing that Hammond and May also are like, oh, come on, not again. Like,
Clarkson!
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
And also in entertainment news, do you remember Mr. Blobby? Do you remember Mr. Blobby?
I have vague memories of it.
people watching now can see Mr. Blobby here and are thinking, what the hell is that?
Oh dear.
So Mr. Blobby was a big foam type costume that was a character, I think it was for something else very briefly, but then basically it was in Noel's House Party. He appeared in Noel's House Party, which was a sort of a Saturday evening entertainment, light entertainment variety type show, hosted by Noel Edmonds here in the UK. And Mr. Blobby became a famous sort of figure from that thing as a children's thing. He brought out a record at one point.
Deal or No Deal, that was it?
Well, that was Noel Edmonds, but there was no Mr. Blobby in that.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Deal or No Deal has gone on to be sold to lots of countries now, have their own versions of it. But yeah, that's kind of Noel Edmonds, that's where he went to after that.
I remember Noel Edmonds, I just don't remember Mr. Blobby.
So, eBay had an actual Mr. Blobby costume, a full costume for sale. Lots of interest, you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
And it bidded up and someone won it for 62,000.
62,000?
62,000!
What, did they put down a mortgage or something for it?
2 mortgages, probably, yeah. However, when you actually read the description, it wasn't an actual Mr. Blobby costume used in the UK on TV. In fact, it wasn't a Mr. Blobby costume used in the UK at all. In fact, it was a Mr. Blobby costume that was made for the Australian version of the show that never got made, so it never went on TV. Guess what? The buyers pulled out.
Was that after realising this?
I don't know, but it hit the news. 62,000. Then all of a sudden, if you read down the article, it says this costume was, and they obviously did this, and it was on the article. I think it was must have been on the listing. You can't not put it on the listing. Yeah. But they did it, and then all of a sudden, it pulled out. So either they bid on it as a bit of a laugh. I don't know what happened afterwards, but they've pulled out. So there might be a Mr. Blobby costume going if you want.
So surely, if you have that amount of money, if you have a lot of money, and you see something you want and you offer money for it, surely you do your due diligence and look at it and just research before you put that money on it. Why would you buy something for such a high amount of money and then turn out that, no, I don't really want it anymore? At least the owner or the bidder didn't get sued.
Well, who knows, that's not happening. I'm going to buy it, I'm not. We've heard that before recently, I think. It wasn't 42 billion, at least it was only 62,000. But yeah,
only
62,000 compared to 44 billion, wasn't it? I think.
When you get to that amount,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
What's a billion here and there?
Matter. And finally, in entertainment.
Oh yes.
Finally, in entertainment. So Mr. Jethro asked me a very serious question the other day.
Have you listened to the band Pink Floyd?
No, that's not what you said.
What did I ask?
No, the first question was, have you seen the cover for Dark Side of the Moon?
Oh yeah.
And I said to myself, hang on a minute, Dark Side of the Moon. That's the Transformers film. And my head's going, Transformers film, Dark Side of the Moon. And I'm thinking cover art, you obviously mean like the DVD case, that kind of thing. And I thought, yeah, I've seen it. And you mentioned a little bit of controversy about it. And I'm trying to think, and it's there behind it. I'm trying to think, what controversy about it? And you showed me, and I glanced at it, and I was like, what? Oh, and I'm thinking, that is definitely not a Transformers film. What is it? And then you had to verbally slap me and explain that it was in fact Pink Floyd, which a lot of people now are going to hate me for not knowing. But I'm a geeky guy. I'm not,
It's culture though. It's British culture.
It is. But the problem with this is
brain damage, money.
Sorry.
Brain damage, money. Great Gig in the Sky.
The problem with this is that you said there was controversy, and because it had the rainbow on.
Oh yeah, right. So we're in the year 2023, as many of you may already know, and this album was released in 1973. So that means that 50 years of this, and there's a celebration. Now the celebration had the logo of the triangle with the 50 with it, with the rainbow in the 0 with the 50.
And people, was it sort of an LGBT type thing? They didn't like the fact that it was a rainbow. Is that?
It was nothing on the side of Pink Floyd. It was just nothing to do with gay people, the LGBT community. It was nothing to do with that.
I mean, the new logo, is that what they thought it was? people thought.
People looked at that and thought, oh, you're going woke now, you are. How dare you do this? And it's just...
Can we make an agreement not to say the word woke? What the hell does woke mean anyway?
Oh, it's a right-wing boogeyman.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you got to do this, otherwise you're gonna like eat your feet while you sleep. Like, oh no. Ooh.
They didn't like it.
No, thing is, if people knew about Pink Floyd, knew that this was a celebration of Dark Side of the Moon, which, with it saying 50 Pink Floyd and the Dark Side of the Moon, and 50 years in a heartbeat, I don't know how you missed that. Again, if you know anything about Pink Floyd, you know about Dark Side of the Moon. You know that it has a rainbow on it. And no, that doesn't mean that light is somehow like gay or anything like that, just because it passes through a prism. That's just how light works. You know, the iconic picture with Isaac Newton
science.
Holding the prism up and then it's shining and...
Which is what the original cover showed.
Yeah,
the original cover had one beam of going in and it's showing you the prism coming out.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah, it's just science.
Yeah.
It's science.
And when people just seeing that, obviously not knowing about Pink Floyd, not knowing about the album, not knowing about the song, not knowing about the music, not knowing about 50 years, and just seeing that and almost making a career out of being offended about things they don't particularly like, about any arbitrary reasons. Which is ironic, because they're probably the people to call other people snowflakes when they really are the snowflakes for being mad about things that they've made up. So, yeah, there's that. And I just found it funny just scrolling through the comments about people getting mad about things they've made up in their own head.
And I thought this whole thing was hilarious because I thought it was about a Transformers film. So there you go. That's just me. Anyway, moving on. It's time now to take a quick delve into social media.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Only a quick delve. We could spend all night doing this, but this story really annoyed me. So, you know.
So you sure you want to delve into it?
Only slightly. We're just going to dip our toe in.
Okay.
And I'm going to start, Mr. Jethro, by asking you a question. How stupid are you?
On a good day or a bad day?
I'll give you, in order to test you, because there is a test, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. The answer to this question is yes or no. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
That's it. That's easy.
That's easy. I need a prop. Would you like to buy this bottle for £500?
What's in it?
Well, actually, it's very interesting. It's actually got nothing in it that you can't find in other things like this on the market, pretty much. It's basically, this is lemon lime flavour. It's called Prime, and it's a hydration drink. It's a 500 millilitres. And, you know, it's like I say, it's not really got anything in it that any of the other drinks on the market, like, you know, your Lucozade Sport, that kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing. It's just a hydration drink that's got vitamins in it. It's got a little bit of carbs, of which sugars, a dash of salt. It's.
You're really selling me there.
Yeah, it's even for people on here. It actually says 500 millilitres, one bottle is one serving. So they're actually telling you not to share this with people.
Oh, it just makes a change, because it's like you look on, say, the ingredients of chocolate, and it's like, oh yeah, one serving is blah blah blah, and it's like one serving is actually 4 squares, and it's like,
yeah,
this isn't 4 squares. This is
when they say something, the calories are per 100 grams, but it's a 400 gram bag. But this
we don't have to do like maths.
It's a lemon and lime flavoured drink with sweeteners. So what do you think? £500? Do you want to buy this? This is an empty bottle, but if it was full, would you buy it?
If it was full,
£500?
No.
Good, you've passed the test. You are not stupid. Well done. However,
I mean, assuming I had £500, but
however,
so people are buying this for
this was not meant to be retailed at £500. Let's just get that straight.
I should hope not.
This was meant to be retailed at a more reasonable price. You know,
such as
a couple of pound a bottle or whatever it was. And it's been put out on the market by Logan Paul and KSI.
Okay.
Who are YouTubers, famous YouTubers, and influencers, and they got together to promote. Well, actually, they did a charity boxing match. That's how they become. That pairing became quite famous.
Oh yeah.
And then they put this drink out, and people went crazy for it, because of course, you know, when the person you like online says you need to buy this drink, of course you just go out and buy this drink, don't you? It was so popular that places ran out. So there are places on like Wakey Wines in Wakefield in the UK actually started selling this for obscene amounts of money, like thousands for these bottles, because its prices were quite high. I believe, this is not gospel, I think his prices were high, so no one bought them from him. So they went everywhere else, they all ran out, so then they had to go to him. So everybody went to him because that was still the craze.
Like a pilgrimage.
Yeah, and they sold them for lots of money. This is an empty bottle, and I want to just point out for the people that say that we're hypocrites, we did not buy this. This bottle was gifted to us empty so we could make the point.
Yes.
And
thank you to our anonymous benefactor.
yeah, this is ridiculous. I mean, why it annoys me. I can't even talk about it.
Even KSI came out to say, don't buy it for extortionate amounts. Like, although the Wakey Wines guy, I can't hate him for that, because first of all, he's selling it for a lot of money in order to, well, he's capitalizing on
the stupid
people. You can't blame him. He's not creating the stupidity. He's just making money off it, which you can't blame him for that. And he films a TikTok with every person who comes in to buy.
He was stopped doing that, actually.
Oh.
They stopped him doing that because they thought it was wrong.
Okay, but it helped get the word out, though.
It did. I mean, you know,
we wouldn't be here to talk about it if you didn't do that.
No. I mean, the famous phrase, there's a mug born every minute, you know, the sucker born every minute. And you'd think that kind of thing would not happen now. But no, the world is still stupid. And you know, let's just get rid of that.
Well, people buy NFTs, people buy Prime. At least with that, it's a physical bottle.
You get something for it, you can drink the drink, but they're just not worth that much.
But it's fungible. It's fungible, though. Bottles of Prime are fungible.
They are fungible. Oh dear! And I've never drunk one, and I don't think I ever will. I might, if later on in my life I do end up drinking a bottle, I will reference this moment, just so people don't do it automatically. But yeah, just no. Talking ridiculous. You'll like this one.
Will I?
Yeah. So, how's your life going at the moment, Jethro? Are you happy?
I don't know. It could be worse.
Right, good. But you could be better.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a way that you can be better. And it won't cost you anything.
I like that. Not costing me, that's the bit I like.
So this is what you have to do, okay? You have to access the power of your mind, okay?
Which
And
isn't much at the moment, but okay.
And you have to say to yourself positive things, such as, I'm going to have a really good day today.
Okay.
You have to keep saying to yourself, I'm happy and positive.
What if I don't have a good day?
No, you will. It's been proven.
So if I say I am going to have a good day, what about if I say I'm going to have a bad day?
You can't do that. That's not the point. So I say it's been proven. It's not really been proven. But there's a phenomena at the moment called lucky girl syndrome, okay?
Okay.
Which is the name for people online who say that their lives have been transformed and changed because essentially they've altered their way of thinking and it's had an impact, a profound impact on their lives.
Okay.
I'm a bit of an old fuddy-duddy. I'm a bit of a cynical old man and I think it's all a load of baloney.
Okay.
Now you do know about this, what I'm talking about.
Have you done a test for yourself? Have you had a week where you have said to yourself, I'm going to have a good day, and said all these positive things, and have they manifested into complete rubbish? Is that what has led you to that?
No. Do you think before the next video, should I do that? Should I have a day where I just go, right, today I'm just going to go positive on everything and just see what happens?
I mean, the thing is that, what's the worst that can happen?
Okay.
I mean, okay, bad things could happen, but they could happen regardless of that. But is saying...
But good things could happen regardless of that.
True. So that's why we need to control.
Does saying I'm going to have a good day and I'm going to be happy and all, you know, does that just make you focus on the good parts of your day and not the bad parts?
Rose tinted glasses and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but if you just focus on the good things that are happening throughout that day, does it work? Because technically you are having a better day just by saying, yes, I'm having a better day.
It could be a placebo that, regardless of what's happening, if you keep yourself in a positive frame of mind, you're more likely to, like, maybe get out of sort of like depressive thought cycles and that, which would be hindering. So by getting yourself out of that, you would be more productive and make yourself like happier. At the very least in the short term. Maybe there's that.
Can you do that without using this particular name for it? If we put Lucky Girl Syndrome, for example, it doesn't matter what title you hang on it. Essentially, it's not some kind of big life-changing thing. It's simply staying positive and looking on the bright side, isn't it? Yeah. Have not people been doing that for years?
I think you condensed that, yeah.
Okay.
But Lucky Girl Syndrome just... It sounds like it has a bit of a negative connotation.
It does. It sounds like you've got something that needs some kind of treatment. Oh, you've got the syndrome.
Oh, you lucky girl.
No. Just no. No. We're going to do some more research into this, I think, for the next video. Maybe we should try it. Maybe we should both do something differently. So we have one day where you think it's all going to be rubbish and I say, right, it's all going to be great. And then next day we switch.
Right, okay.
And then we test what day we had better things. And we do it on a standard normal work day where we would be doing the normal things that we would normally do.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
And we'll document that process in terms of... We'll analyse afterwards what happened.
Okay. How would what metrics will we have for quality of day? I mean, let's say if...
I still think it's all baloney.
I mean, if you can be thinking to yourself, I'm going to have a really good day, but if you get hit by a car, then, well, you can't really positive think your way out of that, can you?
What if you're absolutely fine from the car, just a few bumps and scratches, and then the guy decides to give you compensation of £2 million? Does that mean, oh, it's a great day at the end of the day because you've only got a few scratches, but you've got £2 million? Or would you look on the negative and say, I got hit by a car?
You know what, I'd actually take that, yeah, £2 million. That sort of implies that there's a monetary equivalent to injury, which...
Well, there is actually. In fact, lawyers make lots of money out of this. Have you had an injury at home?
But one where you agree to it beforehand, that you will receive this injury for this amount of...
Okay. It's time now for a feature we like to call Time Capsule.
What is that?
Basically, we're going to look back at a period recently, so we're going to say January, and then we're going to pick a couple of events that happened that are slightly noteworthy from the past. Okay. So, first of all, we've got Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Big star.
Yeah.
And he was actually born in January. In fact, in January 8th, 1935. There you go. That's one thing from history, from our time capsule from January. Are you an Elvis fan?
I listen to a few songs. Do you have a favourite song?
Not really. I do find, there's a lot of Elvis fans out there, but I do find some of his songs a little bit samey. But I don't know. There are some I like. Okay. Suspicious Minds. I don't mind Suspicious Minds.
Yeah, well, there was a film recently by Baz Luhrmann that was a biopic about Elvis. So I've heard it's good. Didn't actually see it. I haven't seen many films recently. I need to fix that.
I know people that really love Elvis. They go to Graceland and all the kind of thing when they go to the get-togethers, all the fans get together and things like that. I've seen Elvis impersonators in Vegas, if that counts. I'd have to say I'm more of a Cliff Richard fan, because I think you were like one or the other.
I wouldn't say I'm in that sort of genre. I mean,
you're a lot younger than I am, Mr. Jethro. Thank you for pointing that out.
No, then again, like I quite like Frank Sinatra, so.
A bit of Frankie.
But what's that song that of Elvis's?
You're gonna have to narrow that down a little bit.
I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
All right, yeah, okay.
What's that called?
I forget the name, but I like it.
Dear.
Yeah, I like it.
Answer's going to be up there probably.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know the name of it. I just like the sound of it. So there's that.
So the other thing that happened were not so nice. Way back in January 28th, 1986. I'm a bit of a space fan. Just 73 seconds after launching, the Space Shuttle Challenger sadly broke up and was destroyed. I hate it when space things go wrong. But
it was the first fatal accident of an American spacecraft in flight.
Yes.
So qualified because of Apollo 1.
And what I think's quite interesting is the cause was the failure of both the primary and secondary redundant zero-ring seals in a joint in the shuttle's right solid rocket booster. It literally blew up. Both failed. And this is a little bit upsetting because it was, as you said, it's the first big one. And it was a shuttle. Now, the US only had a few shuttles, and they obviously don't use them anymore.
When did they stop? Was it 2012?
Something like that. There was another issue with a shuttle, wasn't there?
They were just getting old and used because you had Discovery, Atlantis,
Endeavour.
Columbia was one of the other one that was joined in 2003.
And of course Enterprise, which is the prototype space shuttle from 1976.
That was originally going to be called the Constitution.
Yes, which is quite interesting. And we talked about this the other day actually when we were planning for this. Because the Enterprise on Star Trek, the original series, is a Constitution class ship. Kind of coincidence? I think not. So there we go. So that's our time capsule for this video.
And to end on high, we've got a couple of news stories just to raise your spirits before we leave you.
Yeah, what have you got, Jethro? So you've picked this one.
Yes, there's this story. It's during this blizzard, I believe in New York, where those people they got trapped in the cars, and the snow just kept rising. It was still cold. There was no sign of clearing up, and there was this man who gathered all these people. He gathered like 20 people around, including old people who would have died if it weren't for him. And he was in this area where there was this school. It was out of hours. School was closed, so he broke in. And he managed to keep these people safe, keep them warm, and he's
20 people, according to your notes here.
20 people, and which he's been recognised as a hero. Since then, he's been given an award for his heroism. And just to top it off, I love this little note that he put down after they left. To whomever it may concern, I'm terribly sorry about breaking the school window and for breaking in the kitchen. Got stuck at 8 p.m. Friday and slept in my truck with two strangers trying to not die. There were 7 elderly people also stuck and out of fuel. I had to do it to save everyone and get them to shelter and food and bathroom. Merry Christmas, Jay. So, this gentleman has been recognised for his heroism, and I think the school have pretty well forgiven him for the window, considering the help that he's done. So, I think things like that should be highlighted and appreciated more often. See, it's easy to get bogged down in the news, but you see something like that, it's like, nah, you're a good man.
I like that. I like that. So my story is more local to the UK here, and it's about a 6-year-old who is climbing mountains, kind of. He's decided he's 6-year-old and he wanted to do a charity walk to climb Mount Everest. Now, in case you weren't aware, Mount Everest is quite high. The base camp, people can die just getting to base camp, never mind actually trying to get to the summit. I don't think the 6-year-old's going to manage it.
Okay.
But his dad came up with a better idea. Why don't you just climb the height of Mount Everest in other hills and mountains that you can get to? So this is what he's doing. He started the challenge in October. I mean, we're just into February now, and he started in October, and he's raised up to, at the moment, £1,400. He's trying to reach 8,800 because that's the way he's doing it in steps, which is the exact height of Mount Everest in meters. That's where that comes from.
Okay.
So he's already tackled things like Ingleborough, Wenside, the Old Man of Coniston. Oh, I love walking up the Old Man of Coniston. Have you ever been to the lakes? Oh, it's beautiful. The walks don't scare me, but sometimes my fingers get a bit cold, he said, bless him. His name's Oscar, and he plays rugby, he's always quite active, but he's from Lancaster, 6-year-old, and he's climbing 12 mountains in all to reach that height, so he can raise money for, excuse me.
You're right there.
No, thank you very much. So yes, it's for Derrin House, and I've lost information about it now. Excuse me, sorry. Funds go to Derrin House in Chorley. They provide respite and end-of-life care to over 400 children across the northwest of the UK. And so he's doing that to raise money so that they can go on a holiday. I thought that was amazing. That was nice.
People of all ages doing good things.
I know, it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Puts us to shame.
It does, really. What have we done lately?
This.
I've grumbled a lot lately, I have to say.
We've moaned about young people.
Oh, yes.
But we've also complimented.
And complimented.
Yes.
Yes.
So the balance is restored.
It is. And on that lovely high note, it's time to end. Thanks for logging on, joining us. Please like and subscribe, of course. And
leave us a comment.
Yeah, leave us a comment.
If you want us to cover anything.
Yeah, any good stories you think we might want to look into, and correcting anything we've got wrong, because we might have done.
We're only human.
We're only human. Speak for yourself.
Wow.
I plan to live forever.
And on that note, adios.
Bye. Thanks a lot.